Hello, people of YouTube. It's Deepak here, and welcome to the DCS news for the 6th of December 2025. I hope that you all enjoyed that, my most recent video all about the F4E Phantom 2, today demonstrating how to do a standard taxi and takeoff, which is fairly easy. The main thing that I was kind of struggling with is maintaining just the right amount of back pressure. So yeah, apparently you don't want to be applying that back pressure until you hit 80 knots, and then at that stage you're applying full back pressure. You're pulling the stick all the way into your stomach and holding it there until you see movement, and then very, very gently ease up just enough to keep the nose up. I found that kind of difficult. I think it's the kind of thing you would have to practice a little bit. In any case, yeah, I hope you're all enjoying this series all about the fabulous Phantom. Welcome to the stream, Tea Kettle Barbecue. Welcome aboard. Osprey, Charts, Leonetzel, Sim Taylor, James Fenton, B. Denson, Darth Pirate, JPEG Bobo. Welcome everybody to the stream. I'm seeing a lot of people with numbers and stuff after their names. I don't remember that being the case before. Has Google done something new with people's usernames now? How odd. Like the inverse of what Discord did recently, where they took all the nonsense off of the end of people's names. Cool. So yeah, that series is going to be continuing. Next week we'll talk a little bit about navigational flight, and then we'll dive into more of the mission systems. Pink Floyd, welcome to the stream. It is indeed DCS and coffee time. Ad Astra Recordings, voila, senorita. Yes, that's the limit of my Spanish. That's everything I've got. Cool. Alrighty. We've had some fun stuff. Oh, wow. It said Pierre, welcome from Communist Canada. I've never heard it described that way before, but alrighty. Yeah, we've not had that much going on, but we do have, as always, an ED newsletter. We have an exciting hotfix, mainly focused on the Herky Bird, and a development update for the Marinara World War II map. Delicious. So we'll go into that kind of stuff. So yeah, dear fighter pilots, partners, and friends, we hope you're enjoying the C-130J. I am, and getting to grips with this iconic simulation, and that you saw and installed the hotfix that resolved a number of issues, including a core crash related to mission loading. If you haven't yet purchased this fabulous module by ASC, don't miss it. DCS C-130J. I would definitely echo that sentiment. It's a really nice aircraft. Although I have discovered it's not much of an aerobatics plane. I did crash it recently by pulling silly maneuvers. Although also having your payload out of CG limits is probably a contributing factor to my crash. Sim Taylor, hello from Stamper 3 east of Dallas. Oof. Q3 Arc, welcome from sunny Yorkshire, where the tea is drunk, I believe. And yeah, I'm coming at you from Stockholm in Sweden, if that matters. There you go. Grey, dark, wintry Stockholm. Indeed. So, since releasing the free DCS Mariana, I always want to say Marinara, sorry. Mariana Islands World War II map, we've reworked runway and taxiway logic, cleared trees from takeoff and landing approaches, refined runway surfaces, and adjusted parking locations. The island's road networks have been rebuilt, the vector data improved, with towns, farms, and foliage most accurately placed. Thanks to sharp-eyed community feedback, we also revisited Pagan Island, based on original 1940s reconnaissance imagery. Very soon, this more accurate Marianas 1944 map will be available for you to enjoy. Ad Astra, Herky Bird, fun. Even funnier when you add a modifier to your joystick and operate the tiller with the rudder pedals. That's a good idea. I've been using the keyboard so far for the tiller. Sim Taylor found the C-130 seems to more float than fly. I found that it doesn't really like slowing down unless you start trying to use the beta range. So I've gotten into the habit of disabling the auto reverse feature in the settings and just using the full axis of my throttles, so I can actually kind of yank it back into beta even when I'm in flight. Sim Taylor, well, Italy and the Balkans is coming. There might be a Marinara Island involved. Colin Kelly, welcome to the stream. Welcome aboard. This December, the virtual International Air Festival returns for another spectacular weekend, hosted live from the Klindals Aviation Museum in Switzerland. VIAF brings together 61 jaw-dropping demonstrations across 3 days. You'll be able to enjoy displays, interviews, and giveaways that include hardware like the Thrustmaster AVA Hornet bundle, Mosa's new AB6 force feedback base, and DCS modules. If you're near Switzerland, you can even visit the museum to fly on a DCS Simpet. Be sure to check out the schedule and tune in when the VIAF stream goes live at 6:30 GMT. Very, very exciting. So, first thing being the DCS update. We do have this C-130J thingy. Actually, before we dive too much into that, let's grab the change log, in fact. And yeah, here we go. We see exactly what it is we're talking about. In any case, let's hit the newsletter, and then I'll jump back to the changelog itself in a moment. So this week's hotfix addresses several C-130 launch issues. Several crash causes have been fixed, such as ray tracing crashes, use of the Moab and mark points, and when loading specific instant action missions. New missions from Sedlo have also been added, and existing missions from Sedlo, Gambit, and Baltic Dragon have been updated. You will also find new Air China, Royal New Zealand Air Force, and Japan Air Self-Defense Force liveries, along with accuracy improvements to existing paint schemes. AVX CPU requirements have also been removed to broaden hardware compatibility. The electronic flight bag now offers usability pass with cleaner Loadmaster feedback, a restart button, improved logbook behavior, better low volume control, a digital keyboard for notes and radios, and various UI refinements, including the renamed media tab and persistent auto reverse selection. Yeah, it kept resetting before, actually. That's right. I wonder if any of you can tell me what the comedy, the pure comedy pilot name in the EFB was originally, because that got removed. But as soon as I saw it, I kind of thought, oof, that's something placeholder that somebody forgot to take out. So chat, you get extra points with me if you manage to tell me what the original pilot's name was. Also, I'll take this opportunity, as I often do, to remind you all to subscribe and like and comment. It's a really big help to me and to the channel. Your support means a lot to me, and it's really, really helping. Also, you have the option of joining Deephack's ground crew if you would like. There's a join button below, and for a small monthly fee, you can be one of the special people who are in Deephack's ground crew. We have our own little Discord, and we sometimes fly together, usually once a month. Quark, retracing is still crashing my game. I see. Oh, Pink Floyd, loving the C-130 and really loving the in-flight stereo system. Good fun finding a scenery-appropriate soundtrack. Actually, a very, very long time ago, it is still up on the channel, I had a video where I played music over I think it was an FM station in-game, and tuned it in the MI8 and played it. I kind of feel like doing that again with the C-130. It'd be kind of fun to actually have radio stations that you could listen to. Sim Taylor, honestly, I thought that the C-130 was far more maneuverable than I was expecting for a large aircraft. For a big girl, I found her surprisingly spry. Well, yeah, it's a maneuverable aircraft. I managed to get it into certain regimes which were unrecoverable, so I'm going to watch out for that. Quark, I'm actually gutted they took the pilot name out. Pink Floyd Auto ? No, it's not. I'll wait for you guys to tell me what it really was. Sim Taylor, the ray tracing didn't crash my game, but it made my Q3 jitter very badly, so shut it down. Nice, but unneeded candy. I've actually not tried it yet. I should really give it a go. I have a fairly high-end machine, so I should be able to run it, and my GPU has hardware ray tracing, so let's give it a go at some point and see what it's all about. Smaller but important polishing includes corrected tooltips and labels, an updated rearm menu graphic, a more visible Loadmaster icon, fixes for flare and chaff quantity updates, cockpit view behavior, and a desync issue that could lead to wing separation, which in most aircraft is not something that you want. That's generally considered a bad thing, TM. So yeah, taking a very quick look at the actual changelog here, it's just stuff for the C-130 and one fix for a MiG-15 campaign. But yeah, I'm wondering if there's anything particularly to call out here. It's really just exactly what was covered in the newsletter, to be honest. There's not much else. Yeah, fixed, unable to add the C-130J unit when Germany is the selected country. That's nice. Yeah, it's pretty much what was covered, so that's good. That's good. Alrighty, jumping back to the newsletter, we have the Marianas World War II development progress. Since the release of the free DCS Mariana Islands World War II map, the map team has been diligently working to enhance and improve it, ensuring that it accurately reflects the island chain in the summer of 1944. Runway taxi logic has been reworked, trees along takeoff and landing paths have been removed, runway surfaces have been improved, and parking locations adjusted. For the rest of the map, we manually corrected vector data, rebuilt road networks, and refined the placement of residential buildings, farmland, and more. We've also addressed several points raised by our customers, including impassable bushes and other quality of life improvements. One of the most significant changes in a future update concerns an event that occurred many years after World War II ended. In the early morning hours of May 15th, 1981, a major volcanic eruption took place on Pagan Island. The lava flow moved southwest from Mount Pagan, partially covering the Pagan airstrip and necessitating the complete evacuation of the island's then 54 residents. Since the vector data for our maps is based on modern information, events like this can be overlooked when creating on a historical map. However, some observant customers quickly pointed out this event and its impact on the Pagan airstrip. Armed with this knowledge, we conducted an in-depth investigation using imagery from the 1940s and discovered that the Allies had extensively photographed the island. We located these high-quality surveillance images of the airfield and its surroundings, allowing us to accurately recreate the airfield as it appeared nearly 40 years before the volcanic event. That's really cool. That's a very, very interesting story. I wasn't aware that they'd done that level of research into it. Sim Taylor, question. Can you adjust the time on the World War II map to more modern times? Wonder if people could use it as a Vietnam stand-in. That's a good question. I have no idea. I've actually never flown the World War II version of the map. I've only flown the modern one. Pink Floyd, the World War II Marianas map has a great Vietnam feel when you buzz the treetops in the Huey. The Huey is, in fact, the only aircraft that I've taken on the Marianas map. I did, there was a campaign using it at some stage. I don't know if it was a community one or a commercial one, I forget. But I've done a little bit of flying in Marianas with the Huey, which was lots of fun. Cool. And chat, as always, as you know, I am monitoring chat, so feel free to make any comments, request shoutouts, and so on, especially if you know of news items that I might have missed, because I'm not aware of that much going on this week. I only have the newsletter to cover this week, basically. So, yes, get your shoutouts in. VIAF 2025, the Virtual International Air Festival. As per tradition in December, the VIAF is back this weekend, hosted live on Twitch from Clyn de Alès, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, an incredibly cool aviation museum in Switzerland. The biggest virtual air show in the world welcomes 200 pilots from 18 countries, totaling 61 demonstrations you may not have even known were possible in DCS. Watch the trailer here. Well, if you insist. Let me see if I can set that up without blasting music that is not free to broadcast. So here we go. They have this really cool trailer. I very much recommend watching it. It comes complete with a nice musical score in the background, and they're showing off some aircraft with really cool liveries here. Plus this Polish trainer that I'd never seen before, which is pretty cool. This one here. This is Iskra. It seems to be labelled. Very interesting. Also got what look like... oh no, that's L-39s. I was going to say Alpha Jets, but they're in fact not. Yeah, this is a very, very nice trailer. Like I said, I recommend watching this. It's linked in the newsletter, and I would watch it with the music included because it's very, very nice. I like the little in-cockpit kneeboard there that someone's created. This looks like a fantastic event. There was a Vulcan as well. I didn't know we had a Vulcan in DCS. That's nice to see. And looking at this reminds me that it's been a long time since I've flown the F-86. A very nice module indeed. Some of my earliest videos on this channel are, in fact, in the F-86. Yep, some very impressive flying going on here. Very nice. Oh, of course, yeah. And you could have a Chinook standing on its rear gear. And these look like extra 300S aircraft. I'm assuming that's a community mod. And a P-51, of course. And an F-35 or an F-22, I couldn't quite tell. Very, very nice. Sim Taylor, isn't there something or some kind of clause that YouTube can use to get you around those violations because you're rebroadcasting somebody else's stuff? Probably, like, the thing is, I could probably, if I got the strike, I could probably then appeal it, and that might be accepted. But honestly, I don't have the time for this kind of nonsense, so I just don't do it. It's far safer and easier for me to not bother. Pink Floyd, it's not like ED will copyright strike you for playing their videos, or would they? No, they wouldn't. As far as I'm aware, ED have no problem with people broadcasting recordings and so on of their content. It's actually, when it comes to video games, most video game companies are very happy for you to do that, unless they're Nintendo, in which case you might have some trouble. But yeah, video game companies realize that it's a great form of free marketing. Music, on the other hand, is a different beast altogether when it comes to copyright, and you do have to be very careful. So, continuing. For the next 3 days, watch the show and try to win giveaways. You could get the awesome Thrustmaster AVA Hornet bundle and Sol R4, the brand new Moza AB6 force feedback base, or a DCS module of your choice that is developed by Eagle Dynamics. Don't forget to tune in for several interviews of fascinating people who work or fly on real fighter jets to learn more about this fascinating topic. If you're in or near Switzerland, make sure to come by and check out the real show in the museum. You'll be able to try an incredible next-level racing DCS sim pit that is set up with the latest in-flight simulation controls. Don't miss out on one of the oldest DCS Twitch events. The VIAF starts today at 18:30 GMT and at 1200 GMT all weekend. So this was yesterday. All live with professional production on VIAF's Twitch channel. Surely that's VIAF. Oh, no, Virtual Air Festivals, VAF. Okay, that's a different VAF than the one I'm used to. Thank you again for your passion and support. There you go. So that sounds like a really, really cool event, which is ongoing at the present time. Sim Taylor, so you got to fight it after the fact. Geez, lawyers, right? The thing with YouTube is that all of these strikes are automatic. It's done by AI using algorithms, so it's just not worth the hassle, because then you have to make a manual appeal with a human being, and that will probably take some time. So I currently don't play any of the sound on my videos just to avoid those issues. Where there's music, I'm perfectly happy to play videos where there is no music and it's just in-game audio and people talking. That is fine. It's the music that gets me in trouble. Interesting story. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you aboard. So yes, that's basically that's all the news that we have from the official newsletter this week. A big shout out to John Bluer, who's in the chat right now. I was actually, we're wanting to talk a little bit about fun things that we'll be doing in the Herky Bird. Myself and John were doing a bit of flying in the Herky Bird just a few days ago during the course of this week. He was taking up the Harrier. That's why we have the Harrier in the intro screen of this particular stream, because he was taking that one up and I was in the Hercules, and we had quite a lot of fun, I have to say. It was a really, really good session. I'm actually just going to demonstrate a little picture here that we took during the session. I've got one or two in here, which were a bit of fun. Here we go. Let's bring this up. So that's John parrying my backside with the ramp open. That was a lot of fun getting that shot. And also, I had some strange behavior with the cargo. I tried to do a drop, and the cargo just started kind of hanging around in the cargo bay, like floating, and I couldn't get it to roll out and down. I don't know if maybe I was pushing some negative G's at the time, so the rollers didn't work or something. I really don't know, but weird things happened. But yes, I think we got a really nice shot in there of John approaching the ramp with the Harrier. Pink Floyd, any thoughts about a possible Christmas present or release from ED? Assets pack, maybe. That's an interesting question. I have no idea. What would we be likely to see? What do we think is actually close to release? Because the C-130 was the big one that we were expecting to kind of drop any moment. I'm not aware of any other modules that are that close to release. Zero G cargo, yeah, it was a strange one. The thing, I don't think people have generally had this problem. I think this is probably user error. I probably did something wrong, but I don't exactly know what. I made some kind of a mistake, but it's okay. John was there to take pictures and to look after me in any case. He actually sent over some of his images too. Let me see if I can pull up one of his here. Oh, there we go. That's a nice one that he provided of his point of view, and also take note of his very, very nice RAF livery there for the area. Sim Taylor, has anybody walked the crew chief away from the aircraft? Could be a cool tool to walk around other aircraft if you get far away enough from the Herc. Yeah, I've done that. I haven't found any limits to it so far. The only issue that I have is that I can only seem to enter and exit the aircraft via the ramp. The paratrooper doors and the crew entry door are not usable by the Loadmaster for some reason. I don't really know why. Oh, it said Pier, the IL-7. Yes, I guess that could be. No, aren't you thinking of the LA-7, in fact? That could be a possibility. I don't know. That one did look like it was getting very close, and they said that it was with ED's testing team internally at this stage. So that kind of sounds like it is approaching. Okay. JLo says that that's been reported. Okay. Larger than one, so cargo goes up. Yeah, it was a funny one. But I'm going to do some more practicing with the cargo drops. Once I've had enough of a chance to really practice with the Herc, I will start doing some more videos on it. But for now, I'll be concentrating on the F4 while I gain those Herky Bird skills. Darth Pirate, ED Full Fidelity F-15 would be a great under the tree gift. Well, I think they did say that one is expected in 2026. Let me check. What did they say in the forums again? I'd be very surprised if we're expecting to see that one. When will it be available? This is to be determined. All the design work has been completed, and art and engineering will start once resources are available. When we have a more specific date, we'll update this FAQ. Yeah, so there you go. There is no date for the F-15C at the present time. I would imagine that ED are still pretty busy with the MiG-29. Tim Taylor, like if you want to film the Phantom from the outside and simulate the walk around. Yeah, I often do that with the Control F11 view, actually, but this could be kind of fun as well. Q3 ARQ, because the Loadmaster is an NCO peasant and may only use the back door. You can only use the tradesman's entrance. I see. It's like that, is it? We're doing that. That's terrible. Cool. So yeah, I think that's basically all the news that I have for this week, but I will take the opportunity, as I often do, to pimp the VIAF. The VIAF, or the Virtual Air Force, is a virtual online squadron originally started by myself and Dot Chuckles many moons ago. We fly on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. and we currently have squadrons for the Harrier, the F-16 and the F-18, although there is some discussion going on about having potentially helicopter squadrons and Herky Bird squadrons, so we'll see what happens with that. Stay tuned here if you want to know more about VIAF news. We're generally flying at about 8 p.m. UK time, and most of the people are based in EU time zones. You can join our Discord by clicking the Discord link in the show notes below. And everybody is welcome to join, whether you fly with us or not. We're always looking for more pilots, air traffic controllers, mission makers, livery makers, scripters, and so on. It's a good laugh. It's a great group. Come join us if you would like. That was the VIAF. Yeah, another shout out. Everybody, everyone who's watching this video right now, if you're enjoying this content, please hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, make a comment. I'm always reading the comments, even if you say mean things to me, which is very rare. People on YouTube are actually very, very nice generally. You're welcome to say mean things to me if you would like. If that's what gets you off, then go ahead, say mean things to me. Sim Taylor, thinking the crew chief would be a great tool for filming external shots. I think you're probably right. I think that's almost certainly a good one. Pink Floyd, I took out the C-130. The Loadmaster spawned outside the aircraft and went straight down. I heard him say, "Oh no, not again." Oh dear. Goji, interesting, as I've purchased the Verpal Apache Collective. I hear that's very nice indeed. Well worth a look. So, excellent. So yeah, as I was saying, if you would like to further support the channel, you have the option of joining Deepak's ground crew. The current members of Deepak's ground crew are on the screen now. Thank you ever so much, all of you, for your help and support. It's a small monthly fee, but it really helps me in creating this kind of content and the tutorials. And we have a Discord that we hang out in together, where you can directly interact with me if you'd like. And we're doing a little flight together once a month, which is also good fun. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Fantastic. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I have for this week. I've been Deepak. Every Saturday at about 6:30 p.m. UK time, I post a new tutorial video. Currently, I'm doing a series all about the F4E Phantom 2 from Heatblur, and that's always followed by the DCS news, which just happens to be this thing, what you're watching right now. Thank you all very much for watching. Fly safe, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta!